We have our biggest game of Park to Prem so far. It is the Carabao Cup. We are taking on our affiliates in Arsenal. And under Mikel Arteta's leadership, they are currently sat second in the Premier League. But it is an exciting time. Emirates Stadium is making his debut. And perhaps most excitingly of all, it's a game away from home. Arsenal are unbeaten in 10 games. We've got an away day to the Emirates and hopefully an upset to cause. Although being realistic, we're probably going to get battered. In which case, my plan is to go away and play a load of matches and come back a little nearer Christmas. How is it going, by the way? Happy Monday. It's episode number 33 of Park to Prem. We've played one match since you were last here. It was a win. And it was a win against Rotherham. Rodriguez and Aguilar on the score sheet. I think it said Aguilar. People told me how to say it and I've already forgotten. Maybe we should just call him Johnny. And in this game, Ahmet did bag a brace of assists. The comments have told me how to say this name in Turkish. It literally involves sounds that don't exist in the English alphabet. His name is now Ahmet. And I hope that's okay. And it was just as I was preparing for this first game against Arsenal, I kind of had this realisation, and that is the fact that we've added a lot of players between last season and this season that have actually quite radically changed the starting 11. Ahmet is one such example, although he has kind of been a bit of a late arrival. And when Julien's had injuries, Ahmet has just stepped up and I think probably dislodged Teo in this part of the pitch. Obviously at centre-back, we have Suljic making his live commentary debut today, but alongside him, Evan Donnelly, who was released by Arsenal. Just as a reminder, he was tossed aside by the team we're playing today. I am certain this man's going to want some revenge. In fact, when you look at the team, Denner at left-back is a new addition this year. Barrett in goal. The jury is still out on this guy. He's still improving a little bit, but obviously for £500,000, I'm expecting fireworks. His current season stats average ratings aren't exactly fireworks. And whilst in the midfield, there's obviously Alvarez, Owen and Rodriguez. We, of course, have added Cooper. Kose Hasse, who's also making his debut today. He was not available for the 4 matches we played in Friday's episode. And, of course, spearheading the attack, we have Aguilar, who, I'm not sure if Johnny Boy here is all that. So far, 3 goals in 12 games. Admittedly, the low XG kind of suggests he's not been overly involved in the play. But he got a goal against Rotherham. He got an assist last episode against Lincoln City. Maybe he's just finding his feet. I'm not entirely sure that today's first game is necessarily the best test of has he found his feet. We're taking on Arsenal. Before we play them, we've got an away day to do. I'm quite excited for this one. So for today's away day, we are heading to North London. We are heading to, the Emirates Stadium, which I can't actually believe I managed to zoom in on so perfectly. This is a part of London I'm slightly familiar with, and well, when you look at the stadium, it's just quite a satisfying position for a stadium, isn't it? Wedged between the train lines to King's Cross and the trains that go across London. I will say, from above, these buildings, which I assume are like apartments, they're very, very trippy, aren't they? It looks glitched. Now at Arsenal, there is this big concourse area all the way around the ground, and if I'm not mistaken, there should be a shop here. Is the shop here? Have I got this right? Arsenal fans are going to tell me if I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm at the wrong side of the stadium here. I love the fact that this street view footage is actually just Michael with a camera holding up on a match day walking through. We get the away day vibes here. Say what you want about the Emirates Stadium. The fact that the Emirates Stadium bit is written with the same font that the original Modern Warfare on the box art was written with is instantly a win. Don't question how or why I know this. Look, the Modern Warfare font is literally the same as the Emirates Stadium's font. Makes you think. I do also like the fact that at Arsenal, they have like a timeline around the outside of the stadium for the football club, but they also have like banners for all the current squad also around the stadium. It's just a cool little touch, really. Anyway, let's get in the stands. There's loads of dots here. We're sport for choice. This is a weird feeling, isn't it? We've had loads of lower league away days. Now we're in the big time. Let's go to the centre circle of the Emirates Stadium, which apparently is a roundabout, because someone didn't correctly label the spot on the photo. Okay, attempt number 2 to get a view in the stadium. Here is the Emirates Stadium, which, look, I'll be honest, it is an impressive stadium. Is it as quirky and as homely as Highbury? Not really, but they have got a nice clock, haven't they? As a bit of a throwback. I also realise that I'm old enough now that there's going to be some people watching this video who maybe don't even know what Highbury is. Highbury's Arsenal's old stadium before the Emirates was built, which admittedly was like 20 years ago at this point. I am having an internal crisis realising that this stadium is literally 20 seasons old this year. But you know what would give me more life? Having a look at a pitch side view. I mean, look, it is an amphitheatre of football, isn't it? Let's be honest, it is impressive. The seats look comfy. That's all I'm going to say. If I'm going to be critical, it is a stadium that, because it's kind of just so symmetrical and so perfect, it doesn't have a personality as such. It's just impressive architecture, which doesn't necessarily score you a great away day. Also, I've not already mentioned it, parking. You're in North London here. I actually don't think there's... Actually, I think there is parking at the stadium, but I think it's like this side of the bridge. I could be mistaken. I'm going to state the obvious here. Arsenal, North London, rather well connected, probably don't need a car. Look, I'll be honest, it's a pretty nice stadium, isn't it? Even their club shop is called the Armoury, and they've got guns outside. Of course, gunners. Clues in the name. They've even got cannons on the windows too. And I'm going to be honest, the choice of the Modern Warfare font, I think it's called Bank Gothic. I don't know. Don't ask me why I know that. I used to work as a designer. But it's just a great, strong font. This is going to score well and it's going to make people cross. Impressive stadium. Love the timeline. Club shop has a banger name. I like the statues as well of all the different players around the edge. What I will say, lack of parking, maybe a bit of a lack of personality, but it's still going to score highly. I'm going to give the Emirates Stadium 7 out of 10. I'm a bit concerned I've been a bit too generous there. In my head, I feel like if I give the away day a good score, maybe they'll be kinder as we take on Arsenal today. It's the EFL Cup. I'm going to hope they rotate the team a little bit. It's not even a particularly late round in this competition, but I figured taking on our affiliates away from home, can't pass this up. If we do win, that will be the next match that we do in today's episode. Being realistic, that's probably not going to be what happens, is it? I already talked about team selection. We are pretty much at full strength for this game. I can populate the bench with a couple of extra players in this competition too, but it is a live com debut for Suljic. And I'm going to hope that he can have this really big impact. Admittedly, as a centre-back against Arsenal, it's not exactly the kindest live commentary debut to give him, is it? Also, if you didn't catch Friday's video with Suljic signing for us, you're probably thinking, what the dickens is that player you've managed to sign? Yeah, go back and watch last episode. We played 4 matches live. It was a whole transfer saga. Loads of you watched it. And well, I'm hoping some of you have come back for today's episode because I'm excited for this one. Okay, we are here. I am nervous. I'm going to hope that we can make something happen, but this is not going to be easy. I didn't really have a look at their team. Do I need to be fearful of their players? I don't know a right-back called Wesley, so maybe that's a good sign, although they have got Nwaneri, Vlahovic and Odegaard on the pitch. So, yeah, it might be rotated a little bit. I don't think it's rotated that much. In fact, I'm pretty sure Wesley plays in Serie A. Right back. I want to say for Roma, but I could be mistaken there. Either way, they've got Fernino on the pitch. They're playing full strength. We're in danger. We're in trouble. It's a great block. If we can stay in this game for 10 minutes, I will be a happy man. Why are they still on the attack? I don't like this. Seevold plays it back. We've blocked it. Some might call this overly negative. Aguiar is natural at centre mid. So you know what? When we don't have the ball, mate, just go play as a centre mid. Just go and play as a pressing centre mid, and then in possession, just run up and be a striker again. You might not like it. This defensive shape is going to win championships. Maybe. Right, when we don't have the ball, we are parking the tank. Yeah, I feel like parking the bus implies there's at least someone forward. We do not have that here. Whether or not that's a wise decision, we might be about to find out. Fernino skips past his man. Denner puts in half a tackle, but it falls back to Fernino. He puts it in. It's blocked again. It's now with Odegaard. This is merciless, isn't it? Well, you know what? The whole attackerless defensive shape, it's not really worked. Admittedly, you know, they work the ball nicely. We've got every single player in the penalty box, and we've not managed to stop it being scored within about 3 yards of our goal. Well, the good news is we've lasted 5 minutes, which is more than I am used to, especially when taking on big guns like this one. But we're doing fine. No, we've not conceded. We're on the attack now. Imagine Kosa Hasse, live com debut for the Ivorian. He was playing in the Ivory Coast top division a month ago. He's now here at the Emirates as Aguiar scores, and it's 1. It's offside. Okay. It's offside. I thought we'd scored. I thought I was a genius. I suppose at this point I can shout some encouragement at the players. You know what? We're only 1 goal down after 15 minutes. I'm proud of you all. Look at it. Green, happy, smiley faces across the board. I don't want to jinx it, right? It's the 26th minute. They've not had many more highlights, which I think means we're doing an okay job. They've only had 2 shots on target. I'm pretty sure they had both of those within the first 5 minutes. We've got players behind the ball now. We're making it difficult for them. The plan of attack, I think, here has to be try and keep it to 1 goal, try and nab 1 late, and then take it to extra time and see what we can do. Okay. You know what? The plan is to not lose 5-0. Odegaard has made it 2-0 now. I thought it'd be a lovely idea to come and do the Arsenal game. Obviously, I think this result was somewhat predictable. At the same time, I wanted to believe there was a chance. And to be fair, when we scored before the goal was rolled offside, we did have a chance. I do feel bad for our new kind of back five. It's players who all joined this year. We've very much thrown them in the deep end for this one. I suppose the good news is you're probably not going to come up against playmakers as good as Martin Odegaard when you're playing in League One, are you? What are we doing here? What is happening? Vlahovic has made it 3-0. We are at the point now where I'm going to stop showing the replays for goals because they are just going to make me depressed, I fear. They've scored 3 goals from 4 shots on target. I think we've been unlucky, but that could be pure cope. 3-0 at the break to Arsenal. You know what? Somehow I figured it might end up being worse than this. This isn't awful. Although I suppose if the game was to now finish 6-0, it would look quite bad, wouldn't it, really? I suppose, really, at 3-0 down, maybe out of possession, we should just have a striker. I'm actually contemplating just taking off a load of players here just to rest them as much as anything. I believe we get 5 subs here. You know what? I'm going to bring in Zevcevic John. I'm going to bring in James as well. I'm going to rest all my good players because I feel like them getting injured in this game now would just make me cross. Suljic, you can come off. Milligan is going to go on at left back. I mean, look, some will call this negative. I think this is sensible. I mean, look, sure, we've not had a shot on target in this game. We've had a shot on target in this game. I'll tell you what, if we score here, bloody limbs. Just pretend that we're winning. Zevcevic Sean whips in. Oh, Aguiar was there. He heads it over. I wish it had been more of a chance than that. Then again, the highlight's not ended, so maybe there is more to come here as Arsenal look to play it out from the back. Crawford has it. They have rotated their team a bit themselves. I think for both teams, this second half has been a bit of a procession. Ball is pinged in hard. Firmino already has 1 goal to his name. He is, well, not going to show us much mercy, I don't think, here, as he picks up the ball again with a lot to do, it has to be said. Through the middle they go, though. That is a mad touch and turn by Vlahovic, who blazes it over. I mean, it's still respectable at 3-0. Having gone on a really good cup run here and actually knocked out a couple of championship teams, I was hoping that we could cause some mad upset. It's just never felt likely, has it? It's never had that live commentary feel of a cup kind of upset, massive result. We've been behind from early kind of doors. Arsenal were clinical early on. Whilst we've got better, yeah, it's just not been great, has it? I'll tell you who I feel sorry for. Barrett in goal for us, because he's been given a 6.1 rating, because, well, they only had 6 shots on target and scored 3 of them. But if you actually evaluate the goals they scored against us, I'm not entirely sure he could have been expected to save any of them. We were underdogs out there. You gave it your best shot. Obviously, the Carabao Cup does not carry the same kind of prize money as the FA Cup, sadly. I am wondering if I continue out this game, do we get any prize money? Is there any kind of consolation for turning up and getting spanked? It doesn't look like it. Instead, it's just Denner getting suspended. This man has 8 yellow cards in 15 games. He's just an angry bloke. He doesn't like other people. Now, our very next game is against Chorley in the FA Cup. Admittedly, I do kind of expect us to win that. So I'm going to go away and play some football. We've got so many games in this month of November. I'm going to get to at least December. We'll see what the lie of the land is looking like. But just as a little refresher, right now we are top of League One. We have a little bit of a cushion to the teams behind us, but plenty of these teams do have games in hand on us. Things could still change rather quickly. There is no transfer or wage budget, so January is not soon to look forward to. I'm going to go away, play some football, and I'll come back. Future Jack, take it away. Hopefully things are going well. Okay, well, I have played a whole load of Football Manager, and it is now mid-December. We have a clash at the top of the table that comes off the back of our first defeat in a long old time. Now, since the defeat against Arsenal, it's been a mixed bag, but it's been a bit of a weird mixed bag. First and foremost, we're through to the 3rd round of the FA Cup. We dispatched of Chorley in the first round 1-0, but from there, back-to-back draws against Wycombe and Peterborough, both 2-2 as well. Really disappointing, these games, especially this one against Wycombe. They had a sending off late on, and I really felt like having gone 2 goals down and fought back, we were going to get a 3rd goal. It never came. And as for this game against Peterborough, they are fighting down at the bottom in the relegation spots, and we bottled it. Yeah, they scored a 95th minute goal in this one. I thought we'd got the winner in this game in the 88th minute. The clock was ticking, 15 seconds left on the clock. It wasn't too late, though. for Peterborough to steal a point. From there, we did win our third and final game in the Virtu Trophy group stage against Notts County. They did not have a manager for that game. And in securing a win in that round, we did end up finishing second in the group behind Fulham's under-21s, where, well, in the first knockout round, we got drawn against Arsenal's youth team. That game went rather predictably. We lost against Arsenal for the second time in today's episode. Yeah, I don't like Arsenal anymore. I did think about coming back for a second and away day for the meme, but I decided that probably wasn't worth it. In the end, we lost on penalties. Teo, who's actually been in a decent little run of form lately, missed the all-important penalty. So that is one competition we're out of. In our very next game after we lost against Arsenal, though, we did manage to win on penalties in a 1-1 draw. This time it was against Bolton Wanderers, who are a real rival with us at the top of League One. And yeah, nice to win this round, especially because it has set us up with a tie, which will be coming next episode, away against West Ham, third round of the FA Cup. That should be some really good money. West Ham in this universe are in 13th with Phil Neville as their manager. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Outside of those cup games, though, it still has been a mixed bag. At the end of November, we took on Walsall, Barnsley and Huddersfield. Some good results in here. One obviously disappointing one. A 1-1 draw against Barnsley. The only silver lining, Aguiar did get another goal. 6 goals in 19. I feel like he's slowly getting a slightly better goals to game ratio, but it's still not perfect. Recently, however, we have got a win against Plymouth. That was quickly undone by a home defeat against Portsmouth. We found ourselves a goal down in this game with 20 minutes remaining. I went on the front foot. I tried to make something sexy happen, and well, something sexy did happen. How about that for a finish? Only the second time we've lost all year. The first time we've lost at home, if I am not mistaken. And well, before I left you, we had a nice little gap, didn't we, at the top? That gap has evaporated. With all the draws and defeats that have gone on, it is still so close at the top of the table. Worth noting as well, we're not even at the halfway point in the season yet. Currently, 7 points separate 6th to 1st. So yeah, a lot could change this year. Now, our opposition today are Preston North End. They have been on a crazy run of form lately. Admittedly, they've drawn a couple of games lately, but prior to that, they've been on a really big winning tear that had seen them rocket up the table. They are now in 3rd, and if they were to beat us in today's game, they will go ahead of us because they have got a way better goal difference. I mean, I say way better. It's 3 goals better. It is better, though. Preston North End have the highest average possession in the league, and they have the joint most goals with us. 40 goals each. This has 0-0 written all over it, doesn't it? Now, it's weird. Despite the fact that we have the joint most goals in the league, when you look at the actual goal scorers across the team, there's not really been a singular standout player. I kind of mentioned Aguiar as maybe a slight disappointment with his returns. He is the joint top goal scorer in the league, the Al Salvadorian. And I do feel like with the system that we play with 2 inside forwards, the striking kind of duties are kind of spread out amongst 3 players. I think sometimes when you play a lone striker system, they really are the focal point. I do feel like with Aguiar here, he is a little bit of a distraction at times. You know, his physicality, his ability to basically free up space for the other inside forwards is massive. And I do feel like it's one of the reasons that Zevcevic John has been so good this year. 8 goals to his name. In a weird way, I feel like, this might be a weird analogy, I feel like Alberto Rodriguez and Aguiar, they have a bit of the Mo Salah effect around them. You know, other teams are so concerned about these guys that actually the player who's like the less good of the lot is often the one who gets all the goals for us because, well, they forget about in the opposition. We probably should also acknowledge at this point, because we do have a reasonable sample size of 10 matches for Suljic. He's not been great. Yeah, he's really not been great. I mean, he's on a 6.9 rating in the league, which I feel like is a bit beyond disappointing. And when you look at his attributes, he should be immense for this level. I mean, look, he's in the Media Dream 11, but let me tell you now, he is not the reason we are where we are in the league table right now. Obviously, we have just lost against Portsmouth, but prior to that, there have been some signs of concern. Our upcoming run of games is really difficult, so winning this game is key. A defeat here, very likely to drop out the promotion spots. In terms of team news, I think we're pretty much at full strength. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same team that played against Arsenal. I will say Kosa Hasse has had a few injuries kind of breaking up his run in the first team. He's not had a consistent run in the left attacking mid. I'm hoping he's going to find his groove. He scored 2 goals goals on his debut, and from there, he's been very underwhelming so far. Right, I'm going to get shouty at the players. We need to bounce back. We can't afford to lose momentum. Our next game after this is against Wigan. They were right up towards the top of the table. They lost momentum and have dropped down to like 10th. Beyond that, though, I think next episode we are going to have Bristol Rovers and Lincoln City to play again. I know we played them last episode. They're in 4th and 5th, and we play them ahead of our upcoming FA Cup game. Depending on what happens here, those games are going to be crucial. I feel like the warning signs have been there a little bit this year. We've had a lot of draws. We've had a lot of very narrow wins and games where, you know, it's been hairs splitting the sides. The defeat against Portsmouth, I do think, was a bit of a reality check. We have climbed up in the season preview, I think, to like 9th or 8th. So clearly the bookies are rating the players we've bought in. Obviously, like I mentioned, this game is pivotal. Win this game, relax slightly. Lose this game, that automatic promotion fight looks pretty scrappy. Preston North End on the attack here, trying to pick out Mane, but Donnelly picks it up nicely. They are a team flying high. We need to catch them out. That is a great ball to Aguiar. Can he turn provider? There's players queuing up, and I think that was a shot, and I'm not sure he should have shot there. It's wild to me that we're not even at the halfway point in the season. It feels like I've played a load of matches this year, but I think that's just with all the different cup competitions we've progressed reasonably far in. And of course, the Virtu Trophy group stage. For you guys, it's only the 3rd episode of the season, but we've been covering plenty of matches. This could be one of the biggest, because if we lose 2 games in a row, we are going to find ourselves in somewhat uncharted territory. Prior to losing to Portsmouth midweek, we'd lost 1 game all year, and it was right at the start of the season. Suddenly, you know, we have this game on the road against Preston, who are doing well themselves, and it genuinely does worry me. I'll tell you what, not been a classic, this one. Yeah, the first half is going to end. It's 0-0 between the 2 highest goal-scoring teams in the league. I know I mentioned earlier, it's going to be 0-0. Was joking, Football Manager. I would love to see some goals. Obviously, those goals should be for us, though. We've got a little bit shouty at the players' half-time. I'm going to shout some additional words of encouragement. Give me the green, happy, smiley faces. We're going to make some subs in this game, I think. I'm looking at the attackers and the ratings there. I'm underwhelmed. At least Barrett in goal for us is doing what's required so far. Richards and Zevčević John have plenty of goals between them, but we're going to bring them on in the wider areas. And you know what? Landers did score a couple of games for us ago. So I'm going to bring him into the team for a fresh front 3. And at left mid, Denver has not been booked yet, but he is on a 6.25 rating, which is stinky. I'm going to move Ahmet to left back, because of course he's got that ability to play both sides. But rather than bring in Julien, I'm actually going to bring in Teo at right back. I've been playing him more and more in this part of the pitch. His recent form suggests he's been good. I'll tell you now, he has been very good at right back. I don't want to change too much about our system tactically, although maybe I'm going to live to regret that. They've got a free kick in a semi-dangerous area. It's Adzic over it. The number 6 pulls the trigger. I want to say Barrett had it covered, but I really don't think he did. Preston having below average possession for them this year, but I do feel like in what remains of this game, I do want to try and just hold on to the ball a little bit more. We'll get rid of pass into space and go to pass into feet. Shorter passing. I'm actually going to go to a lower tempo as well. With how they're playing when they don't have the ball, they have kind of this 1 striker and 2 wide attacking mids. I'm going to distribute it to our centre-back still, but what I'm hoping is by just slowing down the play and passing it to feet, it's going to invite some of these deeper lying players slightly higher up the pitch to try and force turnovers, which might leave us with space in behind to attack. I think whenever you come up against a back 3 with kind of 4 players in front, the pass into space instruction just isn't always a good idea because there's not that much space in the final third. Anyway, I'm going to shout more encouragement at the players here. We'll see if there's a seismic shift in the stats here. It has been a very, very even game, admittedly. A game somewhat devoid of quality. A draw here is not disastrous, a defeat would be. They have a corner. This scares me. It's whipped in. Cooper heads it away, not convincingly. Teo gets to the second ball. Ball, though, still in a dangerous area. Swanson plays it inside. This is scary. This is bizarre. Barrett has kicked that wide. I'm going to put that down as Football Manager just not picking a good animation, but that was concerning for a moment. I'm going to switch our mentality. I'm going on attacking. You know what? Why not? Let's go for it. Let's try and catch them out. Tyo for us in a wide area. We've not had a highlight all game. It's played to Richards. It's tipped wide. That was almost a chance from nothing. We do still have the corner. Prior to that, we'd had that one kind of half highlight, hadn't we? We've gone to attacking. We've mixed things up. Immediately, we're trying to upset the apple cart. The ball's whipped in here. Is that a penalty? Oh my, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. Who's taking it? I've taken off all the regular penalty takers. It's going to be Riley Owen over it. He has scored some great penalties this year. The centre mid come left back. Now playing as our deep line playmaker. Can he score from the spot? He puts it down the middle. I'm gonna go off attacking now, I think. I do feel like there's been a few games this season where we've changed things up tactically and it's actually really meaningfully turned the game in our favour. Obviously, the Portsmouth game last week is a great example of that. But the changes we've made here have resulted in us getting the ball just forward a little bit more to earn that penalty. Hopefully, I'm not going to live to regret going back onto balanced here. But I do feel like a slightly more conservative mindset now we have the lead is needed. We're knocking the ball around nicely here. I do feel like that pass into feet instruction is a good one. If you do want to just try and control a game a little bit more. Owen, the goal scorer, inside. Zedjovic John shoots. It's blocked. It falls to Joshy Landers. It is 2-0. The subs have worked, and I think that's Landers' second goal in 3 games for us. Not a pretty goal. Riley Owen involved in the build-up play. Zedjovic John, he turns, he pulls the trigger. It's blocked. It falls straight to Landers, and the former West Ham man was never going to miss from there. Taking on one of the informed teams in League One this year, and, well, I don't want to jinx it because there's still time left, but it does feel like we are on course to get some monumental points here. Desperately needed as well. Few too many draws lately. A defeat against Portsmouth, kind of rent-free in my mind. Mane, though, maybe still looking to make something magical happen here. He shoots. If that had gone in, it would have been stupendous. 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game. When you look at the stats now, it does feel like it really swung into our favour with those shifts that we made. Landers, potentially a man-of-the-match performance on off the bench. Teo on a 7.1 as well. And when you look at the match momentum... maybe we've just got lucky. Maybe that's what it is. Perhaps I'm just giving myself too much credit, but I'm happy with the way we played. Bolton drew against Lincoln City, which means we do jump 3 points clear of them. As I said, 1 game away from the halfway point in the season. We look good. It's still very close behind us. I half mentioned it earlier. Bristol Rovers and Lincoln City back-to-back right after Christmas, only a week away. Those are 2 teams currently in 4th and 5th. I think it's only natural that we come back for those 2 games next time, and then we'll skip over Rotherham, MK Dons and Walsall, and then we'll come back for the big game of the day against West Ham, which is a game I would love to win, but to be honest, I'm just here for the payday. When you kind of look at the club's finances, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Every time we go on a cup run, that is where we've got these jumps up. Yeah, a trip to West Ham should be worth a lot of money, really, for us. It's been a weird trend this year. In the live commentaries outside the Arsenal game, we seem to play really well at the moment, but it's those games that we should be winning comfortably. We have struggled in a little bit more. Saying all of that, while the average ratings might not look all that impressive, we don't have one standout goal scorer and we don't have a standout assister. I think what can't be denied is we look like a very complete team at the moment. It's not the halfway point in the season yet. We shouldn't get carried away, but I feel like we're a contender. If you got until the end of today's video and you want to show some support, go down below, leave a prediction. Where do you think we are finishing this season in the league? If someone's correct, you can have a coconut. Come back to this video and be like, I was right. Obviously, if you're watching this series in like, I don't know, a month's time and you know where we finish this season because you watch ahead and come back and leave a comment, don't do that. That would be weird. Really, really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Shame we got demolished by Arsenal, but we bounced back with a win against Preston North End. Big games up tomorrow. The FA Cup final awaits. I'll see you for it next time. I'm out.